Joining us now is Bobby Ghosh, the Deputy International Editor at Time Magazine. Good morning.
Morning.
The situation in Syria, people have asked, will the Libya model, a NATO model, stop the slaughter, interdiction? Why won't that work here?
Well, for a start, the Syrians have a much more serious army than Gaddafi had in Libya. And as Bashar Assad is showing every day, he has absolutely no qualms about slaughtering hundreds of his people. So that presents a much greater hurdle. But more practically, in Libya, you had unanimity in the United Nations. China, Russia agreed to an action. China and Russia have vetoed any proposal to do that in Syria. So from a practical point of view and from the facts on the ground, I don't think it's going to work that way.
All right, and this is a place we've been before in history. Take the first round in Afghanistan, where you're arming the rebels against the Russians. If the U.S. arms the rebels, working through a second or third party country, would that work?
At the moment, that seems the only possibility. I don't think the U.S. can or the West can be arming the rebels, because that would require them to make judgments about who to arm and who not to arm, and they're not really qualified to do that. But there are others who are. The Arab League is in much closer contact with the rebels. The Turks. Turkey is a bordering country with Syria, is much more closely connected to the rebels. They can make those judgments. The U.S. and the West can assist in other ways. You can provide communications equipment. You can provide satellite information. You can provide military training. But the actual deciding which groups require to be armed and can be trusted with those arms, that's something that's probably better done by people who know them best.
Now, everybody has an interest here. Iran has an interest in Syria as a client state. The Saudis have an interest in a Sunni majority there that could give them a bigger foothold in the region in terms of sectarianism. But you never know what you're going to get at the end of one of these revolutions. They're together in the revolution, but the day after the revolution, there's fracturing. Do we have any idea what a free Syria would look like?
At this point, no, because that's the other problem, that the rebels have spoken generally of wanting to have a democratic system. They want what the Egyptians were able to get. They want what the Libyans were able to get. But we haven't seen a united leadership emerging from the rebels and articulating the vision they have. All we're hearing is they don't want Bashar Assad, which is totally understandable. What they want in his place is not yet clear.
Bobby Ghosh, thanks very much for joining us this morning.
Anytime.